Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTracker.com, and yep, we're finally actually doing the video for the race glove shootout. This is a project that we began towards the end of the 2018 track riding season. My man Jimmy Fox and I, we wear the same size gloves, 2X in most common gloves out there. So we went out and we got 10 of the finest full gauntlet gloves so that we could take them to the track, each ride in them, and evaluate them, comparing them head to head. This project was a lot more difficult than it seemed like it would be on the surface for both Jimmy and I. You're taking 10 great products, you're using them in a real world environment, and you're trying to compare them to each other. Along the way, we learned a lot of lessons, and that's the stuff that I really want to focus on up front before we dive in to the individual features, benefits, and how we felt about these gloves. Realistically, every one of us as riders, we're going to have different features and benefits that we gravitate towards. We're going to be shopping within different price points, okay? Number one thing is this: when you're shopping for a pair of gloves, let's start off with establishing a real price point to operate within. Looking at the gloves on the table, we begin at $179, we end at $430. That's a wide range, and this isn't even every pair of race gloves we have on the site. This is just 10 of the ones we felt were significant. Okay, so establish your price point. With that said, if you can afford this pair of gloves and you're comfortable spending that, that doesn't mean you should ignore everything else underneath it. It's quite possible that the features and benefits that are most important to you could be found in the most affordable pair of gloves. That is quite possible because these are all quality pieces. So establish your price point. And then features and benefits. Get a short list of the things that are really important to you. Maybe it's a plastic palm slider. Maybe it's a finger bridge, okay? Every one of the gloves on the table, we have an individual product review on our website right now. We really break down the features and benefits each one of these gloves have to help you understand them in depth and also understand the sizing a little more before you actually pull the trigger on the gloves. Once you've established your price point, your features, benefits, and you're ready to pull the trigger on a pair of gloves, it's very important that when you receive them, you evaluate the fit of the gloves right out of the bag. Number one lesson Jimmy and I learned was this: the fit of the glove needs to be very close to where you want it to be after it's broken in the minute it comes out of the bag. If you stick your hand in there out of the bag and you're like, oh man, wow, this is really tight and restrictive, give it a minute, see how you feel about it, see if that changes, because sometimes that initial reaction changes over the course of a few minutes, right? So take your time with it, but if it's not where it needs to be out of the bag, it's probably not going to make it. Spending a bunch of time breaking it in, you need to send them back and get yourself into a different pair. Okay, so you just received that new pair of race gloves and you're ready to evaluate the fit. I'm going to kind of share with you things I've learned and things that I'll do to see if I'm going to be happy with the size I've chosen. We're going to use this pair of Taichi GP EVO gloves to do that. Pull them out of the package, save all the original packaging, leave all the tags on the gloves. The reason for that is very simple. If in fact you evaluate the fit and you're not happy with it, you want to send it back, I want it to be hassle-free and easy for both of us. Get the glove opened up and go ahead and slide your hand in. The first thing we're going to do is, how do we feel about the effort it takes to get your hand inside the glove? It really bottlenecks here around the wrist. It needs to, in order to keep the glove on, the shape of the glove. That's normal, but make sure that you're not finding enough resistance here that you're really not going to be comfortable with it, because that's not going to change a tremendous amount after breaking. All right, I'm happy with that. That felt pretty good. Make sure the glove is all the way down. Next up, before we tighten up the gauntlet, I want to see how much space I have here to make sure that I'm going to be able to get the sleeve of my race suit in this glove. Clearly with this one, there is plenty of gauntlet there so we can move forward. Strap it up. We're going to go right to finger length. One of the things we definitely learned was gloves really do not like to stretch much lengthwise. If the fingers are too short right out of the bag, odds are they're never going to stretch and get you where you need to be. Make sure the glove is seated. I'm going to take the index finger of my other hand. I'm just going to slide it into the V of the fingers and make sure it's bottom. That glove is literally right where it needs to be. It's not too tight, so I like the finger length. Now let's evaluate width of the fingers. That all feels good. If that is a little tight, the width of the fingers when you first get it, and the width of the palm, and I'm saying just a little bit to the tight side, that will ease with break-in. Okay, so length won't, but width will absolutely yield a bit with some use. Still, when you pull them out of the package, if it's very tight and very distracting out of the package, odds are they will not stretch and break in enough. Next, I want to make sure that I've got good dexterity in the fingers and at the wrist, thumb, all those areas. This is something that does change as they break in. Okay, so you don't need to be hypercritical here, but that feels good. I like the mobility and dexterity. Feel, that's a big deal for me. I really want to feel that brake lever. I want to feel the nubs on the grip. I've got this old Woodcraft frame slider puck that just kind of sits on my desk. And with new gloves, I'll grab it and I'll just start rolling around a slider. Yeah, okay, all right, I can feel the ridges on it. The dexterity feels really good. Okay, cool. Now, how many times have you seen somebody try a pair of gloves on and they like this, make a tight fist? You're never doing that when you're on the track, ever. You always are going to have a bar in your hands. So when you evaluate that, wrap your hands around the bar of your motorcycle. Feel that brake lever, feel that clutch lever, and make sure you're happy with all of that. It's also important, too, that when you're evaluating the fit of the fingers, the length of the fingers, you do the same thing with the thumb. Just make sure it's all the way in the V, okay? If you go through all this and you find the glove is just too tight and distracting, let's go ahead and let's get an RA number, let's get these things heading back, and let's get you into a different size or a different glove. Conversely, if you go through all these checks, and by now you're going to have these on for 10 or 15 minutes, or you're going to have them on for a little while, and you're like, I like everything I feel so far. They need just a little bit of break-in. I think you're ready to pull the tags and go for a ride. Taichi GP-WRX, 179 on the website, size 2XL. Here's the effort to put it on, a little snug in the opening. Let's go ahead and get our fingers seated. This is size 2XL. This is a 5-star rated glove on our website, ton of ratings. There's the room that we have up here in the Gauntlet. That should easily get over the sleeve of a race suit. Go ahead and strap it up. Go ahead and check that finger length, make sure it's seated. Finger length on this is good in the 2X. Quick feature benefit, this is a full cowhide chassis. It is using carbon fiber palm sliders. How do I feel about the fit? This glove utilizes internal seams. Any of the gloves with internal seams, they do have a little more integrity perhaps when crashing, but you do feel the seams inside the glove. They take up a little bit of volume and you just kind of feel the line of the seam more than you do with external. Overall, I like the fit and the feel. Cortech Adrenaline 3 RR glove. There's your effort on. That slid on a little easier. $219 on the site. This is a size 2XL. Let's go ahead and check the Gauntlet. We've got plenty of room in the Gauntlet to accommodate the sleeve of a race suit. Go ahead and get this strapped up. Currently, this glove, and it's a really new glove, it was introduced in the fall last year. It has only 2 ratings, 4-star on our website. I really don't think I would let that scare you away. Let's go ahead and check our finger length, make sure it's seated. The finger length on the glove is good. They don't feel short. They run true to size. We have a goat skin palm, leather upper. We have Knox scaphoid protectors here, palm sliders on the glove. That's something I like. Let's talk about the fit and how I feel about it. I noticed right out of the bag the glove was super comfortable, less effort to slide it on. It runs just a little bit bigger overall than that Taichi glove did, especially here in the fingers. Five RFX1 gloves. Size 2X, there's the effort to slide it on. $229 currently on the website. Let's have a look at the Gauntlet here. There is plenty of room to accept the sleeve of a race suit. Go ahead and strap this up. This is a newer glove to our catalog. It has 1 5-star rating as of today on our website. Finger length, that feels good. The length of the fingers, I would say, is consistent. Same here with the thumb. We have a full grain cowhide upper, full grain goatskin palm. They are using a carbon palm slider, a little super fabric there. How do I feel about the fit of these gloves? Really comfortable right out of the bag for sure. Jimmy felt the same way. This was the one he actually gravitated towards very quickly. They use a little bit of abrasion resistant fabric, like stretch fabric you'd find in a race suit, in the fingers up here in the cuff, and it really makes the glove offer a high level of dexterity and mobility. RS Taichi GP EVO glove. This is a 2X. This is currently $249 on our website. Let's get that slipped on. Let's check the gauntlet here. Plenty of room to accommodate the sleeve of a race suit. Go ahead and strap it up. This is a 5-star rated glove on our site, and it has a ton of reviews and ratings right now. Finger length. Really like the finger length of this glove. It's right where it needs to be. Thumb is good as well. This utilizes a leather back of the hand and a kangaroo palm. It has Knox scaphoid sliders on both sides. How do I feel about the fit and feel of this glove? This was one of my favorites right out of the bag. Really like it. Lots of dexterity. One of the special features here is that floating knuckle armor and that floating wrist. Just so much dexterity. Really appreciate the feel and fit of this glove. Okay, next up, the Alpinestars GP Pro R2, $279.95. This is a 2X. You're going to see right out of the gate, I'm having a hard time getting my hand in there. It actually pushes the strap apart. Here we go. Let's get into the story. They only had up to a 2X available when we did this review in the R2. And I got to tell you what, I know why now, because we're doing the 2019 Spring Alpinestar catalog updates, and guess what's being replaced? So I really couldn't evaluate this glove on the bike, and nor could Jimmy. We needed a 3X. It's very clear, as we said in previous reviews for this glove, that you need to go up one size. Bummer, would have loved to have ridden in it. We're just going to quickly talk about it. Kangaroo, palm, leather upper. We've got the palm slider here. I really would have loved the opportunity to evaluate this glove. I like what I see. I like what I feel. But unfortunately, that's about all I can say about it. We'll try and do this again with the new stuff as we move in through 2019. The Racer high-speed gloves. See how dirty these are? You're right. I really like these gloves. These were not brand new at the time we shot this video. Jimmy has his own pair of these too. That right there should speak volumes. 2X. Hand slides right in, no problem. Let's evaluate how much room we have here at the Gauntlet. You can see that's actually a little more than some of the others. Very accommodating. Get her strapped up. This is on our website. You guessed it, a 5-star rated glove with a lot of reviews. Check our finger length. That is perfectly seated for me. I dig that. I dig the thumb. Go ahead and check the dexterity. Cowhide, back of the hand. Kangaroo palm. Knox palm sliders. How do I feel about the fit of these gloves? Well, I got to tell you, the first time I wore these, it was when I went to do the 1000cc bike shootout with Road Racing World a couple of years back. Took these brand new with me in my gear bag because I loved them the moment I slid them on, and they felt great the entire day riding those bikes that I was told I couldn't crash. It felt comfortable. Great pair of gloves. Really like the fit, and so do a lot of other people that have purchased them from us. The Burro IK SPR Pro glove. This is a size 15. Their sizing is a little bit different. Let's go ahead and slip that on. Let's check up here. We have a ton of room in the Gauntlet. No problemo there. Let's get this bad boy strapped up. $300 is the price these retail for. They are 5-star rated on our website. This is a full kangaroo chassis glove. Check finger length. Fingers are seated. A lot of unique features and benefits with this. I'm going to try and cover some of that right now. Each of the fingers, you can see it has an elastic band inside stitched in to help form the fingers, okay, for comfort. These gloves are thicker than everything else on the table. They utilize stingray hide at multiple points. They act as palm sliders, very abrasion resistant, double stitched external seams for comfort. This, in my opinion, it's the thickest glove on the table. The craftsmanship is amazing. This is the glove that is designed for a rider that is willing to trade off a little bit of feel because they're thicker, just the way it is. They don't have the same level of feel. The dexterity is, however, good. They're willing to trade some of that off to have a glove that will have a longer service life, so it's going to last longer, wear it longer before the material starts to wear to the point where you can't reuse it, and also be very, very durable on the ground because of all the materials and protective features built in. How do I feel about the fit? Overall, I like the fit. I don't personally gravitate towards gloves on the thicker side. I lean more towards feel, but there's riders out there who do want a higher level of durability and a higher level of abrasion resistance when the glove is on the ground, and that's really who these are designed for. Held Phantom 2. This is a size 10, which is an extra large. There's the effort on. Let's check the gauntlet. We got plenty of room there to accommodate the sleeve of a suit. $325 on our website. They are 5-star rated with a lot of ratings behind them. Full kangaroo chassis. Let's go ahead and check our finger length. The finger length of the gloves is good. I would say compared to some of the others, the fingers are just a tickle shorter. When I say a tickle, enough that I think it'll yield because it's very, very slight. I just do want to, make sure that I articulate that there is a little bit of a difference there. Full kangaroo palm. Stingray is what they're using here for a palm slider, very abrasion resistant. So it's similar in the way it works as compared to the plastic. It just gets there through a different way. The quality of materials that go into this, the quality of the workmanship with Held are really impeccable for sure. How do I feel about the fit of the glove? For me, this one was just a little bit tougher because of the finger length deal. I found it just a little to the distracting side when I was out there, and I believe Jimmy echoed that sentiment as well. I also wear a 2X. I have really long fingers, and that's different for everybody. And once again, that's where it's so important, that initial evaluation that you do on the fit, that you go through that and you make sure you're cool with it, because it's just hard to get them to yield there. This one, not overly short, but man, it's just right teetering on that edge. Alpinestars Supertech gloves. This is a size 2X. 3X was not available. Probably could have used it. There's the effort on. Let's go ahead and check our finger length. Finger length feels good. Let's look at our gauntlet. You can see it's just a little bit tighter here. That should get over a race suit, and it did get over the race suit for me, but it doesn't leave a whole lot of room to spare. Let's go ahead and strap this bad boy up. This currently does not have any ratings on our site. It sells for $399. Combination of cowhide with a kangaroo palm. Very unique glove. It's using Kevlar here instead of palm sliders. A lot of Kevlar externally for abrasion resistance. Okay. The finger shape is really unique. The way that they've kind of ruled, the seams are up very high on the finger. The fingers to me are a little to the narrow side internally, and it was difficult. We weren't able to get these broken in enough because they use internal seams. We weren't able to get these broken in enough to really feel the comfort that we like from the gloves. And this goes for both Jimmy and I. They didn't have a 3X available, and they still don't. So we weren't able to evaluate the fit or performance on the bike as much as we'd like to. But at least here, we're able to show you the things we think are unique, and you can compare how these fit to the other gloves on the table. Held Titan EVO glove. This is a size 10, which is an extra large. Let's go ahead and get that slipped on. There's the effort it takes to put it on. Let's look at the gauntlet. Plenty of room to accommodate the sleeve of a race suit. Safety strap. Let's go ahead and strap that up. These sell for $400 on the site. They are 5-star rated with several reviews. It's a quality product. It's Held for sure. Let's check our finger length. Now this was really an issue for me with this glove. I found the fingers of these to be a little shorter than the Phantom 2. And if that's something that you're sensitive to, once again, it makes it challenging to get the feel you want from the glove on the bike. Once again, finger length, really difficult to get a glove to stretch and give you more length in the fingers. Personally, for me, with this size 10, I don't believe that this would stretch enough to give me the length that I'm going to need. Beyond that, the width of the fingers is good, the palm is good, and it's enough that I wouldn't be able to go up to a size 11 in this without having the glove overly loose. Features, benefits, top-end materials, titanium external protectors, unbelievable finish of the glove, great quality craftsmanship. We've got carbon sliders. We have the Stingray hide here, which acts as a palm slider. A lot of Kevlar on this glove. Very protective piece, super high quality piece. For me, the fit was just not the best out of the gate. And that translated to feel and performance on the bike that I really didn't prefer. If your finger length is good when you try the gloves on, you're going to love these. They are absolutely amazing. Five RFX Race gloves. Size 2XL. These sell for $430 on our website. They are 5-star rated. Let's check the Gauntlet. You can see this Gauntlet here. There is room to get it over a race suit, but I'm going to say that's a little to the tighter side, depending on the size of your forearm and your wrist. I was able to get it over all of my suits, and notice the on-off effort of this was a little bit higher, but once I got my hand in here, I really like the way they fit and feel. Let's go ahead and get this strapped up. Like I said, 5-star rated. We are using a lot of materials here. We're using full grain goat skin, full grain cowhide, and you can see they're using that stretch fabric here. It's like the stuff you would see in the arm of a race suit. Makes it wear really light, allows it to really move nicely on you when you're on the bike. Tremendous dexterity from these. Carbon palm sliders, super fabric here. Really like these gloves. The biggest negative with them is they are super expensive. This carbon fiber right here, these inserts, actually add tremendous cost to these gloves. This is some F1 style carbon that has an epic level of abrasion resistance to help prevent wear-through injuries in these areas. Really unique piece. Both Jimmy and I really enjoyed riding in these. The biggest down is going to be the cost. Finger length was good, a little tougher on and off, but man, once you have these on, tremendous dexterity, great feel. Really enjoyed this pair of gloves. Okay, now we're going to talk about which gloves was I most likely to reach for in the gear bag when it was time for me to go riding. It's important that you understand too, this isn't a winner or a loser thing. This is my personal preference based on budget, features, benefits, and most importantly, and I think Jimmy's going to echo this, how the gloves fit me out of the bag. The gloves that fit me the best out of the bag, you can bet your ass, were the ones I was most likely to reach for. All that said, that says it all, right? I mean, yes, this is at the top of most likely to reach for. Followed very closely by this pair. I could almost lay these on top of each other. Loved them both. Super pumped riding in them. Reach for them all day long. I love this glove. I love the fit. I love all that. That on-off effort, right? For me, that just kind of slid it behind these other two. I could throw those on really easy and just get out there. Love the way these things felt. They're like magic. Love these gloves right out of the bag too. Why did I put them behind that one? Because the on-off was a little better here. Because I like the feel of these better on the bike for sure. Now as we go on down the line. Felt great, plenty of room for me. You know, just not as likely to reach for them as I was the other pair, just being fair. Love the gloves, love the construction. The internal seams for me, they took up too much volume in the fingers, and you can see in the video, they were too tight in the fingers for me, and it just reduced the comfort. So as compared to the other ones, these were less likely that I would reach for them. The Phantom gets a little bulky in this area for me. You know, and I want more dexterity and flexibility. It opens some of that up. There's a higher likelihood I would pull this glove out of the bag because I love the feel of that kangaroo. Stuff is amazing. The Heroic, the thick glove, that's just not my jam. It's just what it is. I'm willing to trade. I've crashed bikes long enough. I don't put my hands down anymore. I'm willing to trade the little bit of protection, the additional protection for feel all day long. Now we'll get to this end of the, and it's just, this is tough. All good products. Man, I want to ride in this thing in a 3X, and I'm sure I'll get the new version coming out, the R3, and I'll rip that in a size 3X so we can talk about that more. So bummer Like what I see, but way too tight. Daddy couldn't ride in it. This one, the fingers were too short, bottom line, so Jimmy and I both learned, too short. If the fingers are too short out of the bag, riding experience is not going to be great for me. These, I really need to try a size up, and still with that said, out of all the gloves on the table, these had the narrowest fingers and thumbs. All quality products. I think these all have a lot of protection, integrity built into them. They're worth purchasing as long as they fit you out of the bag.
Okay, now it's my turn. This is Jimmy here, and I'm going to give you my rundown of what I thought of each of these gloves. And I have them also sorted in order from what I would most likely grab out of my gear bag to not. So we'll start right over here. These are my top two, and I actually happen to own both of these gloves. This is actually my set of gloves. The RFX1s, I absolutely love the feel of these gloves. From the first time I put them on, I knew that I would love riding in them. It's like you're not even wearing a glove when you go to reach for your brake lever, and that for me is very important. The extra on-off effort is a little bit of a downside, but to be honest with you, I wear glasses. I have to take them off and put my helmet on and put the glasses back on. I already spend so much time putting my gear on that a few extra seconds with gloves really isn't going to make a difference for me. So top pick for sure. Second place, I also have a pair of these in my gear bag. Love these gloves. Just like the RFX ones, they're very, very comfortable. I feel safe riding on these. I love the addition of the Knox palm sliders. These gloves I still pull out of my gear bag all the time to ride in. I just like the feel of these just a hair better, but this is a close number two for me. Love riding in these gloves. I put the RFX Race into third place, and the reason I did that is because I was thinking from a little bit more of a budget perspective. I like the price point of these, and not to say that these aren't worth every penny of the $400 plus price point, but for me, I didn't really feel a substantial difference in feel like Van did between the RFX1 and the RFX Race. Still a great glove, but for me, the price point's just a little bit too much than what I would want to spend on a glove. Next, these Cortechs, same thing. Love the Knox palm sliders, very comfortable, easy on-off effort. Enjoyed riding in these gloves, and I'm kind of echoing what Van said here, but comfortability is really the number one most important thing. All these gloves right here, I'm going to draw the line right here, I didn't feel like would require any break-in, no pressure issues, no tightness on my hand at all. I have kind of weird hands. Van and I wear the same size, but I have a little bit more thinner of a finger and a little bit longer of a finger. We still wear the same size of gloves, so that's kind of where our opinion is going to vary a little bit, but great glove here. This one as well. Can't say enough good things about RS Taichi. Build quality on this is arguably the best of any of these. Again, Knox palm sliders, can't go wrong there. Really, really enjoy these gloves. The fit is just a little off from perfect for my hand specifically. So that's why these are a little bit further down the line than I would have liked to put them. Just because, again, they're not as comfortable on my hand as these options are. Your results may vary. Everybody's hand's a little bit different. The Helds, I could not wear these at all. I love Held gloves. Constructed great, very protective. The fingers are too short in these gloves for my hands. If you have shorter fingers, average length to a little bit shorter than average, you're going to love these gloves. If you have a little bit longer than average fingers like I do, I don't think they're going to work out too well for you. So that's why I have them down here. Same thing with the GP-WRX over here. I really wanted to put this higher, but just for me, there's a little bit of a fitment issue. I feel like it could have gone away with a little bit of break-in, but at the same time, I'm looking for a glove that's going to be comfortable right out of the gate. So that's why this one's down here. Over here to the two Alpinestars gloves. Again, really impressed with how they look. Build quality's nice. They were just too small on my hands. I would love to check out the 3X in the new version that comes out next year. I'm going to be doing so along with Van, and hopefully we'll have some notes for you on those, but I just couldn't really properly evaluate these. Down to the Heroics, I'm going to kind of echo again what Van said here. I love what they're doing with these gloves. They're very, very thick, and they're very protective for sure. For me, like Van, I'm willing to trade a little bit of protection and thickness in the glove for feel. these are just way too thick for me, for my preference. I threw these on. I went out. I think I came in after 2 laps. And it's not because, Heroic is a bad company or makes a bad product. This is actually a really nice glove. But for me, I just couldn't get comfortable on the bike. There was too much material on my hands. I actually missed my brake lever once when I went for the brake lever, just because there's so much material here. So again, if you're looking for really nice, thick gloves that are going to protect you if you put your hands down, I'd go for these. But for me, these just aren't going to do it for me just on thickness alone.
All right, there you have it. I know there's a few people out there that have really been waiting for this. We've been eager to do it. We've had a lot of other projects come up that just delayed this, busy times of year, family stuff, all those things. And I'll be really clear too. This was a difficult project. Like even trying to put this video together, it wasn't easy because when I look at these products, there's not winners and losers here. They're all good. I'd feel comfortable crashing in any one of these. I'd put Max in any one of these gloves and feel comfortable that if he went out there and had a crash on the track, that they're going to do their job and they're going to protect him to the level that I would expect. Okay, so that's really important. This isn't about bashing anybody, but along the way, the single most important thing both Jimmy and I learned was that if the gloves do not fit you right, straight out of the bag, odds are you're never going to be happy with them. Here at STG, family owned and operated, where it's run by enthusiasts that actually ride bikes, you probably see that. It's important to me and my staff that you're happy with the things that you buy. And that's why we're trying to put the time and effort into educating you all to the highest level possible so you're more likely to choose the right thing right out of the gate. Here you have it. This is our race gauntlet glove comparison 2018. It was started and we finished it early 2019. I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTracker.com.